My name is Douglas, and these are the little things. Today we're toasting to the little things with a lemon drop martini, which I've made today with 2 shots of Absolute Citron, 1 shot each of triple sec simple syrup and lemon juice. Cheers. This week we're toasting to the fact that at work I produced a I pushed forward a cover illustration that's pretty well on track, which is a good accomplishment given that it's been a contentious issue. The image is a little controversial, but I found a compromise that I think is going to work for most of the people involved. I wrote a headline for another one of the articles that my boss really liked, which is a pretty good accomplishment because I would not say that she is the easiest person to please. We're not going to end up going with it, which is fine. It's for completely different reasons, but the fact that she enjoyed it is pretty cool. And I wrote some intro copy for another one of the articles, which means that things are moving at a pretty good pace. And since the magazine is a major part of the things that I do at work, I'm really happy to know that that's what's going on. Otherwise, the committee that I've been working with to produce a fundraiser event for a choir I'm involved with is doing really good stuff too. We're making good progress. It's a committee that I'm really happy to be working with because all of them are really happy to be doing the stuff they're doing and proud to be committed to an event that is doing good stuff for the choir. I hope it goes well. It's close to being planned, which is good because we're about a month out from the event. And the biggest thing, of course, is just getting people in the door to buy the tickets. Small thing, but I love it. I didn't get mad in traffic on Friday. Okay, it sounds small. I deal with traffic every day going back and forth to work because I have to deal with the one road you can get anywhere in the city. So it can get a little frustrating. But earlier that day, I'd attended a seminar titled Managing Emotions at Work. At the seminar, they talked about how these negative emotions are things that'll come up when actions don't line up with your values. And so you kind of have expectations, and when those expectations aren't met, that's when you start to feel things like frustration, depression, stress, anger. And so, for example, I have, and I generally expect that other drivers have, the value of being conscientious drivers and being nice to each other when you're on the road. What that means then is my expectation is that other drivers are going to be nice to me and to other drivers. So if somebody cuts me off, that doesn't line up with a value, and of course I'm going to be mad at that driver. But what we talked about in the session is that in that moment I can acknowledge I feel frustrated, and that's okay. But I am very conscientious as a driver myself. I handled that situation very well. I have good reaction time. And what that does is it lets you validate the emotions that you're feeling because they're acceptable. You're allowed to feel them, and you shouldn't feel like they're things that you shouldn't be feeling. But you don't let them define you. I feel frustrated, but I am a courteous driver. It's a good idea to not let those emotions define your whole situation. And ultimately, it wasn't productive to feel angry or frustrated. I just had traffic. End of story, nothing I can do. Just got to enjoy the time that I have here. Another thing I did is I was a little bit more productive at home than I usually am, which is to say I was productive at all at home. I'm one of those people who's in my quote-unquote adultolescence. Does that end by 30? I don't know. I'm going to be 30 soon. But in any case, not normally productive, but one day when I got home from work, I still had some energy, so I decided to clean the kitchen. Not like super deep clean, but I made sure that things went into the dishwasher. I wiped down the counters. I pulled out the coffee makers and made sure that things were sort of lined up nicely. Wiped off the stove, mopped the floors. All these things that are just little things that makes the kitchen look slightly better, makes you feel a little more comfortable cooking and doing things in there, and I'm really happy I did that. Another thing I did that was slightly more productive is address the set you see behind you. You can't see all of everything I did, which involved some drilling and putting screws in the wall and hanging up some posters. Mostly you just see the stuff behind me, so you just really see the cleaning and reorganization that went into making these shelves look like, they're not the worst things in the world and overloaded with crap. But I did that, and I'm pretty proud of it. Which of course brings me to the very last thing I want to toast today, which is this series. Welcome to my channel. These have been the little things. I'll see you next week.